Namaste, it's Result Day Live. The battle for the states, the mandate for 2 states is out. A resounding victory for the NDA alliance in Maharashtra, unprecedented. It's a record in Maharashtra's political history that such a mandate has been handed by the voter to any contesting party or side or alliance. Hemant Soren's JMM-led India bloc scripting a fantastic comeback, a pro-incumbency mandate in both Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Crackers, gulal, jalebis, that is how the Mahayuti partners are celebrating in Maharashtra after this landslide victory. A saffron sweep in Maharashtra, record-breaking mandate for an alliance in the state for the first time ever to have bagged over 200 seats, and as we speak that lead is 235. No party other than the BJP has won 100 plus seats in Maharashtra since 1990, and the BJP has done better than its best ever from 122 to 133. Now the Congress won 100 plus seats in Maharashtra. It was back in 1990. The BJP alone has secured more seats than the entire MVA combined. Frankly, even Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde currently has got more seats than the entire MVA combined, solidifying the status as the most trusted party in the state. The BJP pan-Maharashtra party, the Indie bloc finds itself completely decimated in Maharashtra with its worst ever performance for the Congress, NCP Sharad Pawar and Shiv Sena UBT. This is Sharad Pawar's worst ever performance in his political career in terms of seats and also in terms of vote share. This is the Congress's worst ever performance in Maharashtra too. Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking to X and to post, NDA's people efforts resonate all over. We will leave no stone unturned in fulfilling their dreams and aspirations. Home Minister Amit Shah has hailed Maharashtra victory as a triumph of performance over politics. Even in Uttar Pradesh, the NDA has swept the bypolls with CM Yogi Adityanath, reiterating that it's a mandate for BJP's batenge to katenge and ek hain to safe hain mantra. What are the quick takeaways quickly on Maharashtra before we take it into the studio and also to all our guests joining us on this coverage? The quick takeaways. BJP has scored its biggest ever victory in Maharashtra. That's the first takeaway. Let's get to the graphics and let's get to the numbers here. The BJP's biggest ever victory in Maharashtra. Ladki Bahin scheme paying off for the NDA. BJP's Ek Hain To Safe Hain, the Prime Minister's mantra resonating across the board, across all the 6 regions. BJP recovering Vidarbha Lok Sabha losses. Devendra Fadnavis consolidating his position. Eknath Shinde sinking the UBT. Ajit Pawar trouncing his uncle and NCP Sharad Pawar. Rahul's caste census and of course this entire quota push totally flops. The Congress loses this entire big brother tag. Sari hekdi nikal gayi is what some people had to say about the Congress's performance in Maharashtra. The position in the India bloc. India fails to capitalize on its Lok Sabha momentum altogether, and a big question mark over Rahul Gandhi's leadership and his ability to actually thump the BJP when it comes to head-to-head fights. And can the Congress continue to claim to be the fulcrum? Quickly, ladies and gentlemen, to all our viewers also. Strike rate of the BJP, 133 out of 149. It's an 89% strike rate. The Congress, 15 out of 101 seats, a 15% strike rate. Shiv Sena, let's quickly look at the Shiv Sena. 57 out of 81, that's a 70% strike rate. And for the UBT, we'll see if that graphic flips over. For the UBT, the strike rate is just 21%, 20 out of 95 seats that it has contested. We'll get to the strike rates in just a bit, but unprecedented mandate. Kudos to Pradip Gupta and Access My India, Zaka on the magic wall. That's a different map altogether from the 4th of June, but Access My India was the only one that predicted anywhere close to what the mandate is in Maharashtra and also Jharkhand. Jharkhand is just about almost the same exactly as he predicted. Yeah. We've got Rohit Chandravarkar, Aman Sharma, Nalin, Rashid Kidwai, and of course Rahul Shivshankar on the other side. Take it away. So I think, what happened 5 months ago in the Lok Sabha election is a complete history now. Nobody is talking about it. The BJP has managed to bring back every caste group, every community that went away from the BJP 5 months ago. They've managed to bring them back. Let's just run you through a couple of filters. I want to talk about the Maratha factor because much was made of it, even in the Lok Sabha election, the Jharkhand Patel factor, almost 90 seats. The BJP is winning that 74 to 12. Complete dominance in the Maratha dominated seats, and thereby completely shattering this whole myth about Jharkhand Patel being a big factor. Let's take a look at the farmer distress. Again, a lot was said about, Vidarbha, about the cotton growers, the soybean growers. Again, 58 seats, farmer distress. 50 of those seats have gone to the BJP, only 7 to the India Alliance. So again, this business about farmer distress and, the BJP having to pay for farmer distress, again, that narrative does not cut ice. And the other big factor, of course, were the Kunbis. The other section of the OBCs, the Kunbis, again, massive. Out of 30 seats where Kunbis are dominant, above 25% of the population, 27 of those 30 seats went to the NDA, only 3 to the India Alliance. And the last one, this whole Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai narrative, which the Mahavikas Aghadi sort of spawned during the Lok Sabha elections. There are 29 reserve constituencies. 20 of those have gone to the NDA, only 9 to the India Alliance. So all of those groupings, Marathas, Dalits, farmers, all of them who went away from the BJP and the NDA 5 months ago seem to have come back. This is as sweeping a victory as anyone would have hoped for. Gents?
Well, broad takeaways, of course, we can come to, but look at what this victory has done and how they've actually won it. There's obviously a 90% strike rate. So obviously, the BJP backed itself going into competitions with the Congress and said, look, if we can convert those big time and we can pull out that data, it's on our screens, the head-on is very revealing. It tells you that wherever, and this is becoming a trend that is cementing itself, there it is, 65 leads for the NDA, those BJP seats, 75 contests, 65, 10 is where the Congress has either retained or won. And most of these are in Vidarbha and down there in Marathwada, which tell you that this is the area, this was the one area, viewers, that we have been looking at very closely, and the BJP has homed in, delivered, and the results are there on your screens. Secondly, the caste equations. Very, very importantly, the BJP played the caste game fantastically, the ground game absolutely spot on. We were told that RSS went from house to house. There was a lot of attention to try and get the Marathas behind the BJP and the other partners of the BJP, as well as not lose the Kunbis. Obviously, the great catch-all, unite all slogan, Ek hai to safe hai, was the glue. And most importantly, the cash benefit scheme. If you look at the women voters, again on another indice, we can pull that out, and those women-dominated seats, Zaka, again showing
43 seats, 31 to the NDA, just 11 to the India Alliance.
You can question whether the EC delayed the election to allow this rollout and all of that. You can question all of that, but I'm just saying. Now, larger takeaways, of course, total momentum shift in Indian politics.
See, the simple point is, if there is anybody who says the EC delayed the election for rollout in Maharashtra, the same rollout also happened in Jharkhand. So, all things remain the same. Some of these welfare schemes have worked. Rashid Kidwai, welfare has worked. Along with that, a pitch which unites or whatever.
Going by what has happened in Maharashtra, actually, it's a very fit case and a very good case for, one nation, one poll. Timing is very fine. And, to achieve that 400 par, because if Maharashtra verdict translates into a sort of, national verdict, the BJP will be over 400 seats.
Rashidji, the difference from Lok Sabha to now is the fact that there was no number put. There was no arrogance of the numbers that was shown. There was a certain humility, and there was also a certain message that said that we need to work together and we need to unite to win. United we fall, united we stand, divided we fall. That was the message, but no prediction on numbers was made. No prediction on numbers, no claim on numbers was made. That arrogance was missing.
No, I'm not talking about arrogance. I am saying this is actually a fit time. The government wants to bring a one nation, one poll bill in parliament. I am saying that why not have elections also and win 400 seats and have, all the state assemblies and,
Oh, that will eventually happen in 29, irrespective of which states the BJP wins or the NDA wins or what the INDIA wins. If one nation, one poll is brought into force, it will come into force in 2029.
No,
that would also mean that UP may go to polls twice in 2 years. We don't know. Nalin Mehta, your quick takeaways on what's happened?
So, if I was to see a historical parallel, the import of this election is similar to the import of the 2017 UP election. Because at that time, nobody expected a sweep of that kind that you saw in UP. It gave the first Modi government the kind of momentum that it was kind of flagging at that point, and then they just took it away after that for the next 2 years. So this election is something like that. Haryana was the first movement from the blip that you had in the Lok Sabha election. But this is of another scale. You haven't had a mandate like this in Maharashtra for 50 years. This is the single highest victory of any party in Maharashtra for 50 years. The BJP, 3 times in a row, the single largest party, this time 133, and they've been in power for 10 years. This changes Maharashtra politics. So I also think that what it seems, it's possible to now interpret the 2024 election result as simply a message of that moment to the government not to be arrogant. But when faced with regime change, the voter is telling us something.
Yes.
And I think that's what this election
I
is
think
telling
it's
us.
telling you that social nationalism and, economic welfareism are the two things that really drive this particular agenda of this government, and the people are buying it.
Somewhere one gets the sense that the voter is saying, we want you there, but we want you to make sure that you don't forget your humility, you don't forget the fact that we have put you there. The other thing is that we trust you to continue to deliver despite the mistakes. Somewhere that's what the voter is saying to whoever is in
And
power.
to be honest,
whoever is in
how
power.
to put
Whoever
it.
is in power.
I don't
Be
know
it in
how to put
Jharkhand
it,
or in this.
I don't know how to put it politely, in nice sort of, jargon, but मुझे लग रहा है कि हिंदू जाग गया है.
That's what.
There appears to be. Look at the consolidation of the Muslim vote away from.
So what's happened in Jharkhand then? Why Hindus soya hua hai?
Well,
That
I don't
will be
know.
a counter that will
Maybe
come.
it's taking some time there. Maybe it's taking some time. Maybe the tribals see themselves as,
I think we have Pradeep.
I think, let's go
Pradeep.
across because Rohit and Aman will come to you. But Pradip Gupta, he should be smiling and very, very happy. Chairman and Managing Director, Axis My India. Tom Vadakar, National Spokesperson of the BJP with us. Dr. Raju Wagmare of the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde is with us. And Arvind Tiwari, Spokesperson, NCP, Sharad Pawar with us. Chetan Bhagat should be joining us in a bit. But Pradeep ji, that smile is worth it. Jharkhand, aapne kaha 53 aayenge for India Alliance. It's come. You were the outlier. And Maharashtra, even you didn't predict. You're the only one who said it can go up to 200, but it's gone to 235 for the NDA.
So thank you, Anand, and full credit goes to Axis My India team, not a single % doubt onto it. And when it comes to, you are saying 235, I don't know, your own local channel is showing 223, the Marathi channel of Network 18, Network 18 Lokmat, 223 to UT and 60 to MVA, anyway. But we have said that about 200 with 48% vote share. Now UT is like getting about 50% vote share, and 35 to Mahagadi, which we predicted about 37, which plus minus 2% margin error. And our Jharkhand, actually, we never give one single figure, 49 to 59.
Yes.
And at this point of time, GMM Plus is getting about 56 odd seats. There also vote share difference is only 1%. So I can easily say that we could able to predict both the state spot on. In that sense, the victory margin, of course, has increased in case of Maharashtra, because that is purely on account of these smaller parties, rebels. It seems they have eaten away lots of vote of Mahagadi. Still, they are getting, the others are getting, in result, I'm talking about 40% vote share. 14% is a sizable number.
Yeah. So, Pradeep ji, when we spoke last night, I remember asking you questions about whether you are actually sure about your projection and whether this is actually more of a test for you. And I think you passed that test. So, congratulations to you, first of all. But look, I just want us to explore a couple of things. I think you were right. And I have to say that your fellow pollster from Lokniti, he seemed to have differed with you on the Vidarbh projection. Now, this was a very tough election to project because many people said there were many variables. How did you sort of refine the data to come out with these numbers, just from an intellectual perspective?
Okay, so actually we predicted, when you are talking about vote share numbers, so we predicted the difference of 11 percentage points, and actually it is turning out to be 13 percentage points. 50, 35 and 15 in favor of others, that is matching anyway. Only 2% shifted to UT. Now coming to the data, see, you all know that we were on the back foot as Access My India. Actual number was 210, but we decided not to give away that kind of a release, that kind of a bold and very loud number on various accounts. So we restricted ourselves to 200 seats, but actually it is turning out to be 220 odd seats in favor of UT.
Just don't tell Amit Shah this, sir. Don't tell Amit Shah.
We would like to go with we would like to go with these numbers here on the News 18 graph, because this is coming from our live result hub. And these are the numbers as of now: 133 for the BJP, 57 for the Shiv Sena, and 41 for the NCP. You did predict about 48% vote share, but did you predict such performance by the Shiv Sena and the NCP? Shiv Sena, somewhere they were expecting about 55 seats. They're at 57 leads so far. But Ajit Pawar's NCP, Ji.
So for BJP, we predicted about 107, the higher range. For Shiv Sena, Shinde, we predicted 58 seats, which is they are getting. And for NCP, we predicted 30 seats, which they are getting, as you just now mentioned,
41.
about 40 seats. So there is a difference of 10 seats. But the bigger story in BJP, see the 90% strike rate, 90. They contest for 149 seats and they are likely to win, as you are mentioning, 132 odd seats, which is 90% strike rate. And overall strike rate of UT, even if you take 222 seats for UT, it is 80%. See, 80%. And we predicted about 70% strike rate, which was the case even in Madhya Pradesh. That is what we predicted there also. But because of these smaller parties splitting the vote of MBA, the difference of the same is repeating like a Gujarat story, which is 156 seats out of 182, because the vote sharply divided between Congress and Aam Aadmi Party over there.
Correct.
So which is what is repeating over here.
Pradeep ji, if I can ask you, you did this, when you did this for Madhya Pradesh also, you said Shivraj Singh Chauhan will get in excess of 160. Again, people said, itna kaisa ho sakta hai and all that. There again, we saw this Ladli Behna, now this Ladki Behna. Is this now going to be a template in future elections as well? That the women vote is what political parties will target, and women will vote for whichever party or formation they think can deliver money in their bank account?
See, Jaka, trust me, 100 vote cast, 80%, big number I am talking about, 80% belongs to rural poor. And poor, when I say, they are also in urban pockets. Their livelihood largely depend on government of the day. So when they select or elect the government, a leader for that matter, very carefully they evaluate what you have promised when you have come to ask for the vote and what you have delivered. आपने क्या कहा था और क्या किया? Very, I mean, आपको ये अभी दिख रहा है, ये सारा का सारा ट्रेंड जयललिता के भी पहले से चला आ रहा है. उसके शेप और फॉर्म अलग है. 2015 बिहार इलेक्शन, उस समय नीतीश कुमार जी जो लड़कियों को साइकिल देते थे, उसका भी बहुत बड़ा उसके अंदर असर होता था. उसके बाद आप देखिए कि महतारी योजना, छत्तीसगढ़ की जो विक्ट्री बीजेपी की हुई, वो प्योरली ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ महतारी योजना के फॉर्म भर के उन्होंने लिए. So, और JMM भी जो रिपीट कर रहा है झारखंड के अंदर, we should not also forget that it's pro incumbency. They are also मुख्यमंत्री मैया सम्मान योजना, clubbed with the आदिवासी अस्मिता, because
मैया का मतलब बहन है वहाँ पर. हाँ, बहन सम्मान. तो see, it's a similar scheme, extension of what's happened in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Jharkhand.
आप ये क्या समझिए, दूसरा समझिए चीज को कि जो मैंने कहा 80% पीपल डिपेंड ऑन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द डे डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली, उसमें महिलाओं का स्टेट जानने की कोशिश कीजिए. दे आर डिपेंड ऑन द मेल ऑफ देयर फैमिली, you know, and if they get this kind of money in their hand, they get a real empowerment, they are get the real say. So they influence the entire ecosystem. It's not only the women, it's the family who get benefited.
True, and there is a 5.5–6% difference in Maharashtra, and also unprecedented turnout of women in Jharkhand too. Just taking it out to the wider political panel, Rahul. Rahul Gandhi and Uddhav Thackeray, Mr. Tom Wadakan, both of them have now commented. There is a press conference by Uddhav Thackeray. He's saying the EVMs have won Maharashtra. How can things change so much in 4 months? It is impossible. The results are unexpected, says Rahul Gandhi. Your thoughts there? Two teams in the MBA, two parties who've not performed at all to expectation. Ubata still the biggest in the three between Congress, NCP, Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, Shiv Sena.
Anand, they sound like broken records. Because I think first when I start, I should congratulate the people of Maharashtra for having come out and voted, which is an extraordinary performance. And the second team that I will congratulate is the Election Commission. And I will also congratulate Mr. Gupta, who has re-established the confidence of people in the voting system.
Exit polls.
Exit poll. So these are the three people. And about EVMs, I mean, it's very strange. You win in, say, a state like Himachal Pradesh. You win in Karnataka. You win in Jharkhand, EVMs are perfect. But, you know, something happens to EVMs once they come into a state where there is a BJP victory. This story sounds like so grapes, and I think the Election Commission has come out on record many a times to point out that the EVMs are perfectly performing. Now, I heard somebody on television, a lady actress, defending the husband's loss, saying that the batteries were charged and 99%. Then batteries, something happened in between. And beyond that, there was nothing more to it. So this kind of, EVM reports have been coming, but democracy has been successful. Our constitution is in place, and economic welfareism is the call of the day. And that is happening everywhere. And one good test of the litmus test would be the fact that anti-incumbency is some phenomenon that is across the board. This is not happening just with the BJP. The JMM has also succeeded to what happened. That's another story of why it happened. We won't go on this day to go into that. But let me say something, that democracy is in full play. The Election Commission has taken care of the EVMs. So there is no threat immediately of a regime change, which some outside agents wanted.
Arvind Tiwari of the NCP, Sharad Pawar is with us. Arvind, Mr. Tiwari, how would you look at this performance of the NCP, Sharad Pawar, especially after what happened in June 2024 with Lok Sabha? You just hit double digits back again on our grid.
You see, the results are certainly disappointing for the party, and the party intends to introspect on that and analyze what has gone wrong in this whole 3 to 4 months, and where we have not seen something which was yet to come. And we will revitalize politics. When in politics we, sometimes we get the throne and we get thrown. So it's a throne or we get thrown. It's a difference between both, and we have to be ready for both. That is something which is an underlining point that we need to accept in a political system. And political system is an ever evolving concept where we have to. It's not just one election. We have to revitalize ourselves and we get back to our things. There are multiple things, like, from my perspective, like if you just allow me to complete. Yeah. From my perspective, that my analysis, it's not the party which is analyzed on that, but my analysis from the whole day, that I have seen that what could have been wrong, or what things we have not seen as coming. There are multiple reasons. Yes, Ladki Bahin Yojana has been a concept which has influenced the women voters and has done that thing. But again, batenge to katenge and ek hai to safe hai have polarized. But not only polarized, this is something which we had expected, that they will try to polarize. What is thing which we have not looked into or not seen as a strong threat was the reverse polarization that they themselves did. Reverse polarization in the name of vote jihad, that they created a narrative, and then from somewhere some people come in and then they issue some fatwa and say that these people have to vote, wherein we have not sought those supports, and then they are capitalized, and that reverse polarization again acts further. Further, that thing we have which ignored, that is come to my mind, is that the people, like they call, when they are caught, they call them as fringe elements. The fringe elements, that they are the sadhu sadhvis of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. They have been working very strongly in the grassroots. They have been holding at least 10 to 12 meetings for their community. Then they have been polarizing the voters. So something like that, that is my assessment, which has certainly worked for them.
Okay.
And which has gone against us. That is my understanding of the situation.
So, two or three things, Mr. Tiwari. First of all, of course, that would apply to Jharkhand also. That would have applied to some of the other states. It would have also applied in the Lok Sabha context, this reverse polarization, etc. So, I don't know what to think about that. But let me quickly ask you this question now, that Sharad Pawar faction, your faction that is, has posted its worst performance ever. Do you believe that you should now either merge with the Congress party, or perhaps the time has come to reconcile and accept Ajit Pawar as the pole of the Pawar clan, around which you can now pivot if you want to continue as a separate movement? And thirdly, do you agree with some of your partners, especially in the UBT, that constantly talk about EVM and manipulation of the EVM, and they brought it up today? There's a broad hint about it today.
See, the question when we talk about EVM, sir, my contention is that if there is no consensus among all political parties with regard to a system of casting votes, then that needs to be rethink. And if you see, there is an argument. It is not only us. You see, Mr. Narendra Modi has himself criticized the EVMs long time back when he was in Gujarat. And you have seen Subramaniam Swamy of the BJP filing a PIL in Supreme Court, challenging the imposition of EVMs. We have seen that EVM was brought in the United States of America, and all developed countries, they have now gone through it. So I won't want to continue how the EVM can be managed. There is no technically sound data to prove what it is. But if there is a consensus, there is a doubt, then I believe that the Election Commission should look into. And when the question of the election is, the credibility of an election is questioned, then we need to think as an Election Commission, which is a constitutional body, which is independent of the political system, then they need to think on that part. And
all right, Mr. Tiwari, the argument can be that in Jharkhand you've had a 2/3 victory. The opposition has won by polls. In Karnataka, in Bengal, opposition is winning. Wayanad, Priyanka Gandhi won by a record margin, 4 lakh plus votes. Anyway, I think the EVM is simply a bahana. Let's analyze, and then let me bring in Dr. Wagmare. Clearly something has happened.
Question about what will happen to the Sharad Pawar?
The Sharad Pawar,
yes.
Dr. This applies as much to the Shinde Sena and the UBT Sena as much as it applies to the two factions of the NCP. I think the voters of Maharashtra have made it very clear, Dr. Wagmare, that in this fight for legacy, who is the real legatee of Balasaheb Thackeray? I think it's the Shinde Sena. Who is the real NCP? I think it's clearly Ajit Pawar's NCP. Is it time now that the voters have spoken? Chetan Bhagat is here. He says Maharashtra does not need 6 parties. People have said we don't need 6 parties, we just need 4.
Who needs 6 parties, especially with the parties are there for making sure that a certain leader is running the party or comes to power. It is not even like 6 different groups are being represented there. I think, Zaka, some of the key takeaways I feel. One is BJP knows what, in brackets, a lot of Indians want. Even if not all the Indians want, they know what a lot of Indians want, and it can consolidate that vote, and it has consolidated that vote. Now, many people, that is true. It is also true many people do not like the BJP, they don't like the BJP way of doing things, but those people are scattered. And without that anti-BJP consolidation, any election is a hopeless cause. Third is, Congress has only 2 ways to win. One is they divide the BJP vote, which they are trying through caste census, but it's not a very emotive issue beyond the point. What will happen even if you do the caste census? What am I going to get as a lower caste person? We don't know. So it's limited. And then the other way is to kind of try to consolidate the vote, which they couldn't this time because their whole alliance is ideologically confused, and it was an alliance of convenience. So it just flopped very badly. and so they must be feeling extremely demotivated. They need to relook at everything, ideology, vision, slogan, policy, oratory, big idea, everything is missing or it's not very clear. Now, unless you change this, this cycle will keep repeating again and again and again. So, it's up to these guys what they do.
Somewhere you would also accept, Chetan, that beyond the political parties, so economic welfareism, the deliverability, whoever is able to deliver and the first mover advantage, what you promise and what you deliver is something which the voter is very strongly seeing with the woman voter. That was also a point that was made by one of the panelists.
When you talk of policy today, there is because we live in an era of technology where you can literally say every woman is going to get 2,000 rupees. This was, even if you wanted to do this, you couldn't do it in the 1990s. You couldn't do it in the 2000s. You can do it today. Whether it's good policy or not, I mean, the person who's getting the money, they are happy, they are voting. Right. Whether the state can afford it or not, time will tell. This will add to the fiscal burden.
Okay. Ideological compatibility is there with the, Ajit Pawar and BJP.
No, but the same asked about UBT and NCP and UBT and Congress. For 50 years, they fought against each other.
See, where is the compatibility? That aspect, Rashid Kidwa, is now purely a rhetorical question because what Uddhav Thackeray did in 2019, it didn't make sense at all. And the Congress also accepted, after so much of reluctance. Yeah, see. We'll go to Dr. Raju Wagmare after Nalin Mehta. Yeah.
So, 3 months ago, a lot of people started thinking that 240 is the new 140 and 90 is the new 190. Right? And there was a sense that even though the BJP had won the election, that the BJP is a party on decline and the Congress is the party on the ascendant. It's only a matter of time. The opposition are believing they know how to beat the BJP. What this election is showing, in the last 3 months is showing, the BJP knows how to course correct in a way that the opposition hasn't been able to move with the time. Right? They won that one victory. So there is a it will take much more to beat the BJP. I think that's the point.
See, and this resting on the laurels is something which the opposition is guilty of. Immediately getting down on ground is something which the BJP did because Bhupendra Yadav was down on ground. And we also had Kiran Rijiju, who was amidst the two groups, the Kunbis or the OBCs and with the Dalits, they were there. Those leaders were there.
Anand, there was a course correction. You yourself talked about how they came out with these schemes. They addressed some of the pitfalls. Yes. Even in Haryana, they made corrections. I mean, let's look at it objectively. Who is the organization secretary of the Congress party?
Your country cousin.
Mr. Venugopal, yes, fine.
How is he a country cousin?
One second.
Okay.
Mr. Venugopal. What will happen to Mr. Venugopal? Will he continue in office?
Talking over the pictures, JP Nadda reaches the BJP headquarters. Arun Dhanta is there. Dr. Raju Wagmare quickly. Also, let's not forget the Chanakya who's silently done it all and who's proven who's the real Chanakya. It's not Sharad Pawar, it's Amit Shah. And Amit Shah has come back and said what we tried to do over the last 3-4 years has borne fruit, now eventually shaped and come to fruition. Yes, Dr. Raju Wagmare, Eknath Shinde and the Shiv Sena will always remember that the BJP stood by it. And it's helped Mr. Eknath Shinde establish himself as the real legatee. Dr. Wagmare, are you there? You're muted, sir. You're muted, sir. Please speak. Unmute yourself.
I am there only. I said I am very thankful for you guys. Allow me to talk, I said.
Please go ahead now.
Finally.
Please
See, everybody is talking about the BJP legacy and how the BJP did act and how the BJP moved together. But you have to understand there was a Mahayuti was in Maharashtra. We was a part and parcel of Mahayuti. Our leader Eknath Shinde was a prime factor, or you can say the main factor of this Mahayuti, who was handling the situation and who was taking everybody together, who was working till morning 5 o'clock day and night, meeting people, going everywhere and bringing this idea of Mukhyamantri Ladki Behan Yojana and the way he wanted to implement, the way he wanted to take the government to the people's door, that is Sarkar Apल्या Dari. So all those things help to bring this situation. It's not only BJP, but it's with Mr. Ajit Pawar party also and it's with Shiv Sena also. So these three parties came together, the ideas of all three people, and the Mahayuti decided to go with the face of Mr. Eknath Shinde for this election. So there was a reason behind it, because the most popular person in Maharashtra the more popular leader. There is no any dent on his character or in his social
Dr. Wagmare,
character.
do you believe there will be more who will now want to join Shiv Sena from Ubata?
Absolutely. Already there are people from Congress. They wanted to join Shiv Sena. There was a people from Uddhav Thackeray. Now they will come back to Shiv Sena because Eknath Rao Shinde is a figure that it's a very approachable figure. He opened his residence Varsha to all over Maharashtra. Everybody can come. He can meet people at night, 4 o'clock also. So that his image gave the Mahayuti, it's a very approachable thing, and he gave the image of common man. He
But
always
Dr.
said that
Wagmare,
he's
now
a-
there is a huge chorus within the BJP that Devendra Fadnavis should be made Chief Minister. BJP has 133, you have 57. So there's no guarantee that Mr. Shinde will become Chief Minister again. What do you say to that?
No, but see, before Mr. Devendra Fadnavis himself, he said that even if the more numbers of MLAs are there, it is not necessary that the CM will be from that party. He already said that, but whether he said and done, whatever the decision has been taken by the top leadership of Mahayuti, we are agreed to go with that decision. But the whole Maharashtra knows how the Eknath Shinde did, and no matter whoever is going to become a chief minister of Maharashtra from now on, every chief minister will be compared with Mr. Eknath Shinde work. Every chief minister will compare with how and what time and how much time he is giving, like Mr. Eknath Shinde or not.
Correct.
And that is the parameter has been set. The new parameter
Everybody will
has been set.
talk up their own work, but there is no taking away that all three are equally hardworking and all three are equally committed to the cause of Maharashtra or making Maharashtra a progressive, developed state. Be it Eknath Shinde, be it Ajit Pawar or Devendra Fadnavis, a chief minister who's completed a full term as chief minister and also now last 2.5 years as DCM. Lot of crowd, great enthusiasm at the BJP headquarters. JP Nadda is already here. We should have Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah also coming ahead of the Prime Minister arriving there around 7 p.m. We're going to take a very short break. We'll come back with Arun Dhanta live from the BJP HQ in Delhi. Stay with us.
महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने जो अप्रत्याशित इस प्रकार की जीत हमको दी है, इससे ये बात पूरी तरीके से स्थापित होती है कि महाराष्ट्र ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के पीछे है और मोदी जी ने जो नारा दिया था, एक है तो सेफ है, इस नारे को यथार्थ में लाते हुए महाराष्ट्र के सभी समाज के सभी लोगों ने एकता दिखाते हुए महाराष्ट्र में मतदान किया है और इसके कारण ये इतनी अच्छी जीत हमको मिली है। मैं विशेष रूप से हमारी लाडली बहनों का, लाडले भाइयों का, लाडले किसानों का, सभी का बहुत आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं। लाडली बहनों ने तो बहुत आशीर्वाद हमको दिया है, जिसके कारण हम लोग निश्चित रूप से एक अच्छा विजय यहां पर संपन्न कर पाए। इसके साथ साथ लोकसभा में जिस फेक नैरेटिव को तैयार किया गया था और यहां पर जिन ताकतों ने अराजकता के माध्यम से फेक नैरेटिव को परकोलेट किया था, उनके खिलाफ लड़ने वाली सारी जो राष्ट्रीय ताकतें थी, जो राष्ट्रवादी विचारों की जितनी हमारी ताकतें थी, वो सारी ताकतों ने मैदान में उतरकर उस फेक नैरेटिव को समाप्त कर दिया। इसलिए उन सभी संगठनों का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं जिन्होंने ये करके दिखाया। साथ साथ महाराष्ट्र में जो पोलराइजेशन का प्रयास किया गया था और किसी जाति विशेष, धर्म विशेष को, एक धर्म विशेष को पोलराइज करने का जो प्रयास किया गया था, मुझे लगता है वो प्रयास सफल नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में एक बहुत बड़ी परंपरा है, संतों की परंपरा है। इस परंपरा का निर्वाह करने वाले अलग अलग पंथों के जो हमारे सारे साधु संत हैं, उनका भी आशीर्वाद हमको मिला, जिन्होंने बिल्कुल गांव-गांव तक जाकर अलख जगाया और एक रहने का संदेश दिया, जिसके कारण मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि एक बहुत अच्छा विजय हमको मिला है। विशेष रूप से हमारे मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी, उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित दादा पवार जी, रामदास अठवले जी और हमारे साथ की जितनी छोटी पार्टियां हैं, हम सब लोग एक साथ रहे, एक साथ मिलकर हमने ये काम किया। इसलिए मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ कि इस एकता का ये विजय है, जो हमारी महायुति थी, अभेद्य इस प्रकार की महायुति थी, महायुति का ये विजय है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ। और साथ साथ मैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का तो आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, उनके कारण ही हमको ये जीत मिली है। लेकिन हमारे देश के गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी, जिन्होंने महाराष्ट्र में आकर कार्यकर्ताओं में एक ऊर्जा का संचार किया, मैं उनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व हमारे नड्डा जी है, हमारे राजनाथ जी हैं, हमारे नितिन गडकरी जी है, इनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे जो चुनाव के प्रभारी हैं, हमारे जो महाराष्ट्र से मंत्री हैं, इन सभी का मैं बहुत दिल से आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ कि पूरी पार्टी ताकत से हमारे साथ खड़ी हुई। और सबसे महत्व की बात है, हमारे नेताओं ने, हमारी पार्टी ने केवल बीजेपी की सीटों पर काम नहीं किया, हमारी पार्टी ने सारे के सारे महाराष्ट्र के जितने 288 सीटें थी, हमारे दोस्तों की सीटों पर भी काम किया। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इसके कारण एक बहुत अच्छा यहाँ कार्य संपन्न हुआ। हमारे भूपेंद्र यादव जी, अश्विनी वैष्णव जी, हमारे शिवप्रकाश जी, इनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे यहाँ पर जो हमारे सारे अलग अलग प्रांतों से भी जिन लोगों ने हमको मदद की, उनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे पीयूष जी का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, हमारे शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ।
Whole Nagada and also patriotic songs playing at the BJP headquarters as we welcome you back. Let's go to Arun Danta. Yes, Arun, what time is the Prime Minister expected?
और ये सब क्या बोलते हैं अपने किसानों को जो उन्होंने
किसको चाहते हैं मुख्यमंत्री, कौन बने मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्र?
मुख्यमंत्री वो तो पार्टी तय करेगी। लेकिन जो पब्लिक की जो राय है वो देखा जाए तो एकनाथ शिंदे ने 2.5 साल में बहुत काम किया है। जो विरोधियों ने उनको गद्दार कह के बुलाया था, वो गद्दार शब्द को उन्होंने मिटा दिया और बता दिया कि असली शिवसेना महाराष्ट्र में शिंदे सरकार की है। उद्धव ठाकरे का सुपड़ा साफ कर दिया, कांग्रेस का सुपड़ा साफ हो गया महाराष्ट्र से।
सुपड़ा साफ हो गया महाराष्ट्र का। So आनंद
हो गया महाराष्ट्र से।
Voices from BJP office.
A lot of them
yes.
Frankly, to everyone here in the studio, it looks more festive than the 4th of June 2020. So is Maharashtra victory going to replace and gloss over perhaps the deflated celebrations of the 4th of June in terms of narrative? Secondly, a word on Amit Shah, Rohit Chandravarkar. Has he now said who's the real Chanakya of Maharashtra or overall in terms of electoral politics? Given the performance of Sharad Pawar
and his thought process vis-a-vis Amit Shah and the electoral machinations?
Anand, I think the brilliant idea here was to identify women as a voter unit, which the BJP was first to do in Madhya Pradesh. In many other places, I think they've done it. But to bring that idea to Maharashtra is the game changer. It is very clear if you speak to all the leaders on both sides, they will tell you that it's the women who are the beneficiaries who have given this victory to the BJP. So in that sense, the opposition was confused. First they said the government does not have the money to do this. Then they copied the scheme. They said they will give 3,000 rupees and all. They lost the narrative. I think Devendra Fadnavis is a winner now. The way things are moving, I think he will be the chief minister candidate now. And the BJP is taking control back in Maharashtra instead of giving it to any alliance partner. I have just learned that it is almost certain that alliance partners have agreed that Devendra Fadnavis should lead the state.
So what's in it? What's in it for the partners? What's in it for Shinde? What's in it for Ajit Pawar? Why would they agree to Fadnavis becoming chief minister?
Today there was a press conference that all three leaders held.
Yeah.
And at the end of the press conference, I am told that Eknath Shinde said to Devendra Fadnavis privately that now you are the leader, please accommodate us, jokingly. Jokingly.
Okay.
And Devendra Fadnavis touched his forehead 3 times. That those visuals can be played. You know, everybody has those.
Let's try and find out those visuals if we can. We'll ask the team if we can find out those visuals. That soon after the press conference, this is what he said.
So
and
people who are just one line. The people who are in the room, I just spoke with them, and it's clear that Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde have agreed that Devendra will be leading the next.
So it's the same it's the same 3 people, just the kursi changes a bit. And where Devendra Fadnavis was supposed to be, because Eknath Shinde at that time also had said, I'm happy to be DCM, you be the CM. And Devendra Fadnavis says, no, I will not be CM, because there was a point to be proven to Uddhav Thackeray that we can work as coalition partners despite being the #1 party. But Amit Shah, quick word, as we see, a lot of activity. Looks like Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah are on their way. Soon after that, Prime Minister Chetan Bhagat, Aman, yeah.
See, Anand, in an election, I think how elections are won by managing the caste matrix, the new welfareism model, which we have seen through, as Rohit was mentioning, and the political narrative. And I think Amit Shah is a master at this. So we see how the caste matrix has been managed by the BJP and the Mahavikas Aghadi in this election. Is the 2 regions we discussed few days ago, the Pennsylvanias in the way of Maharashtra, Vidarbha and Marathwada. You look at Marathwada, out of 46 seats, BJP has won 41 seats. In Vidarbha, out of 62 seats, the Mahavikas Aghadi, Mahayuti is winning 48 seats. So these are the 2 regions where the Mahavikas Aghadi had to win to stand a chance in this election. But BJP has snatched it away. Why? Because I think this woman voter, has transcended caste as well as religious barriers to come towards the Mahayuti as well as.
A bit of a personal thing also, because I think Mr. Amit Shah will have a lot of reasons to be happy today, because the way, into the way back 5 years ago, Uddhav Thackeray had sought to, say as if Mr. Amit Shah had gone back on his words or something like that. So I think it becomes like a, one-on-one, and there Mr. Amit Shah has demonstrated, politically speaking,
but also
that he is, first among equals, and Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is a man of no consequence.
It's a big sweet revenge, both with Uddhav as well as Sharad Pawar.
Apart from the optics and a little bit of the sentimentalism, remember that he sat in on every meeting this time when it came to ticket selection, as he does. But this time, I think he went through with a fine-tooth comb, because there was some criticism that in Uttar Pradesh specifically, there was some mismatches. And I remember
2 very close lieutenants of Amit Shah were there as the in charge and the co-in-charge of Maharashtra.
Absolutely.
Bhupendra Yadav, Ashwini Vaishnav, both who have also handled the Madhya Pradesh campaign earlier. When nobody gave BJP a chance in Madhya Pradesh, Ashwini Vaishnav and Bhupendra Yadav were sent to Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, in June, Ashwini Vaishnav and Bhupendra Yadav were made the co-in charge of Maharashtra
there is
as
a man of the match. He might be Mr. Fadnavis today, but they're the man of the series. And one has to think very closely about who that is. And that is Amit Shah.
There is no doubt about that.
Yes, so there's no doubt about it. And I remember the Prime Minister being locked up till 2, 3 in the morning. Also on some of those meetings. So you can see the commitment to this election. They made this a do or die battle
We have
for them.
the states, and this is the third term. So imagine how many assembly elections happen, but they take each of them so seriously.
But about government formation, there is a one catch, that time factor is very important. So the three parties, they have to elect the leader, etc. If it's not happened, then it will have a brief
it looks like either 25th or 26th. Rajnath Singh, the Raksha Mantri, is already there.
It will happen next week.
So that's what, Monday or Tuesday, I think, as of now.
Maharashtra Assembly ends
Payal gave us the information earlier that they may do it on 26 on Samvidhan Divas at Shivaji Park. That's where it could happen. Rajnath Singh is already there, the Raksha Mantri, and behind him Amit Shah would come. Zaka, the other aspect is that if there was an allegation against Amit Shah that he reneged on his promise, has this also now shown that I will hold back deal with Eknath Shinde, I'll hold my bargain with Ajit Pawar, get them their due, give them their spot and their respect, and also make sure that the transfer of legacy happens?
Yeah, I mean, for the last 2.5 years, they gave pride of place to Eknath Shinde. And make no mistake, I think Amit Shah has today proven a personal point more than a political point, because of all the mudslinging and all the muck that was thrown at him by Uddhav Thackeray. He can now turn around and say that he can claim this as redemption. This is, in a sense, vindication. They played the Maratha card, they played the betrayal card, the traitor card. All of that has been completely negated. This is, for Amit Shah, a total redemption as far as Maharashtra is concerned. This is a coming back to this kind of victory. I mean, like Aman was saying, this is the biggest victory that we've seen in Maharashtra in 50 years.
And look at the body language.
Yep.
He looks as if, he is somebody who is done this and relieved. And even after Haryana, there was, just the glimmer of a smile. But here, he's beaming broadly, because I think it was still weighing on his mind about Maharashtra and everything.
I think Rahul, Amit Shah was very clear that the political narrative in this election also has to change. I remember asking him this question at the manifesto launch function, asking him that in the Lok Sabha, what had happened was that you suffered because of this Samvidhan Khatre mein hai. He spent 3 minutes answering that. He clearly said, yes, I agree, we suffered because of that narrative, पर वो एक झूठा narrative था और ये होक्स 2 बार नहीं चलेगा. सर एक बार चल गया, हमारी 6 महीने से सरकार है, कौन सा संविधान बदल गया है, लोग भी देख रहे हैं कि कोई संविधान नहीं बदला.
It was his bite that was sort of morphed and put out, and it was that.
So he was very clear that this narrative I will change, and I think narrative has been changed, because from संविधान खतरे में है to एक है तो safe है, the dominant slogan in the election changed, and that is how the BJP has won.
The whole thing started because of this 400 par, and the moment 400 par happened, you had some of the over-exuberant, perhaps spokespersons and netas of the BJP, somebody turned around and said, 400 seateं आ जाएंगी, संविधान में परिवर्तन कर देंगे, and that's where this whole संविधान बदल देंगे started. This time around, Haryana, nobody claimed any number of seats. BJP didn't talk about seats. Jharkhand or Maharashtra, they never said how many seats we are winning. Nobody would offer. They would just say we are working hard to get the majority. That's what. So that's another course correction they seem to have made. But this man, we got to hand it to him. Rohit Pawar's seat, he's won his seat. But,
by 1,200 votes. Can you imagine that?
But there was another candidate with the same name. That's electoral planning. That's what you're saying.
No, so one of the things, I think Pradip Gupta made this point, 15% vote share has gone to others. These are independents, these are rebel candidates. Even Aditya Thackeray, for example, his margin of victory was 6,000-7,000. That's it. Last time when he contested in Worli for the first time, his margin of victory was almost 70,000. So it's been brought down by, almost 9 times.
Okay. So we've got to take a hard stop here. We're compelled to take this break. Prime Minister would be arriving any moment now. So see you on the other side.
महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने जो अप्रत्याशित इस प्रकार की जीत हमको दी है, इससे ये बात पूरी तरीके से स्थापित होती है कि महाराष्ट्र ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के पीछे है, और मोदी जी ने जो नारा दिया था, एक है तो सेफ है, इस नारे को यथार्थ में लाते हुए महाराष्ट्र के सभी समाज के सभी लोगों ने एकता दिखाते हुए महाराष्ट्र में मतदान किया है, और इसके कारण ये इतनी अच्छी जीत हमको मिली है. मैं विशेष रूप से हमारी लाडली बहनों का, लाडले भाइयों का, लाडले किसानों का, सभी का बहुत आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं. लाडली बहनों ने तो बहुत आशीर्वाद हमको दिया है, जिसके कारण हम लोग निश्चित रूप से एक अच्छा विजय यहाँ पर संपन्न कर पाए। इसके साथ साथ लोकसभा में जिस फेक नैरेटिव को तैयार किया गया था और यहाँ पर जिन ताकतों ने अराजकता के माध्यम से फेक नैरेटिव को परकोलेट किया था, उनके खिलाफ लड़ने वाली सारी जो राष्ट्रीय ताकतें थी, जो राष्ट्रवादी विचारों की जितनी हमारी ताकतें थी, वो सारी ताकतों ने मैदान में उतरकर उस फेक नैरेटिव को समाप्त कर दिया। इसलिए उन सभी संगठनों का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं जिन्होंने ये करके दिखाया। साथ साथ महाराष्ट्र में जो पोलराइजेशन का प्रयास किया गया था और किसी जाति विशेष, धर्म विशेष को, एक धर्म विशेष को पोलराइज करने का जो प्रयास किया गया था, मुझे लगता है वो प्रयास सफल नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में एक बहुत बड़ी परंपरा है, संतों की परंपरा है। इस परंपरा का निर्वाह करने वाले अलग अलग पंथों के जो हमारे सारे साधु संत हैं, उनका भी आशीर्वाद हमको मिला, जिन्होंने बिल्कुल गांव-गांव तक जाकर अलख जगाया और एक रहने का संदेश दिया, जिसके कारण मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि एक बहुत अच्छा विजय हमको मिला है। विशेष रूप से हमारे मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी, उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित दादा पवार जी, रामदास अठौले जी और हमारे साथ की जितनी छोटी पार्टियां हैं, हम सब लोग एक साथ रहे, एक साथ मिलकर हमने ये काम किया। इसलिए मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि इस एकता का ये विजय है। जो हमारी महायुति थी, अभेद्य इस प्रकार की महायुति थी, महायुति का ये विजय है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूं। और साथ साथ मैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का तो आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, उनके कारण ही हमको ये जीत मिली है। लेकिन हमारे देश के गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी, जिन्होंने महाराष्ट्र में आकर कार्यकर्ताओं में एक ऊर्जा का संचार किया, मैं उनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व हमारे नड्डा जी है, हमारे राजनाथ जी हैं, हमारे नितिन गडकरी जी है, इनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। हमारे जो चुनाव के प्रभारी है, हमारे जो महाराष्ट्र से मंत्री है, इन सभी का मैं बहुत दिल से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि पूरी पार्टी ताकत से हमारे साथ खड़ी हुई। और सबसे महत्व की बात है, हमारे नेताओं ने, हमारी पार्टी ने केवल बीजेपी की सीटों पर काम नहीं किया, हमारी पार्टी ने सारे के सारे महाराष्ट्र के जितने 288 सीटें थी, हमारे दोस्तों की सीटों पर भी काम किया। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इसके कारण एक बहुत अच्छा यहाँ कार्य संपन्न हुआ। हमारे भूपेंद्र यादव जी, अश्विनी वैष्णव जी, हमारे शिवप्रकाश जी, इनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे यहाँ पर जो हमारे सारे अलग अलग प्रांतों से भी जिन लोगों ने हमको मदद की, उनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे पीयूष जी का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, हमारे शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक प्रकार से सामूहिक रूप से हम लोग जब उतरे, तो ये सामूहिक ताकत एक ऐसी ताकत बनी जिसने दिखा दिया कि महाराष्ट्र ये मोदी जी के ही साथ है।
It's a historic win for the NDA, the Mahayuti, and that man should get credit when it is due. The Chanakya of electoral politics for BJP, and many believe that there aren't many who can equal his prowess, and oftentimes he was pitted against the like of Sharad Pawar, but the scoreboard at the bottom of our screen says it all. This is the Mahayuti, and that's the INDIA or the Mahavikas Aghadi, that's the alliance there. And look at the performance of the NCP Sharad Pawar, just hitting double digits. It's the worst ever performance for Mr. Sharad Pawar in his entire electoral career, especially at a time when he had gone out to the voter and said, this is my last Vidhan Sabha election, I'm not contesting or getting into active politics after this, I'm going to take a break, I'm going to retire. Do it for me, do it for my party, and do it for our relevance. That's not happened. It's Ajit Pawar and the NCP with the emblem, the Ghadi, who's now come out as a legatee. These two, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar, emerging as the legatees in those dynastic regional parties which were splintered, and for a long time it was the BJP and Amit Shah who was being blamed for it. But what a turnaround of fortunes for the BJP and for the Mahayuti in the last 4 or 5 months. Even as he is there, we are just waiting for the Prime Minister to arrive. On cue, it should be that he should be coming any moment now. Yes, Rahul Shivshankar.
You know, that's the one fortress
Next
that
is
seems
Delhi.
to elude even the Chanakya. So I wonder what's going to happen in Delhi next. I wish the Axis guys did a pre-poll.
Many believe the problem for the BJP is the BJP in Delhi.
Exactly, that's the thing.
So
it's
that's
surprising.
also another story about Delhi BJP.
It is surprising.
Interesting question about Delhi also is that, see, the whole Congress vote is what moved to AAP. Now, is Congress in a position to regain that at all, or even to make a fight for it in this election?
Congress, in the last 2 assembly elections in Delhi, has not won a single seat.
Yeah.
So I think Delhi with Congress ka to pata nahi kya hai. But I think Aam Aadmi Party, as we were seeing, it's personal for Amit Shah with Uddhav in Maharashtra. I think it's also personal for Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah, Mr. Kejriwal in Delhi. I remember the interview the Prime Minister gave us in the Lok Sabha elections eve. He said, how can the media even interview a person like Kejriwal? It is like interviewing Charles Sobraj. So that is the level. I think the BJP wants to defeat Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi at any cost. You will see an extremely aggressive campaign from the BJP starting next month, and I think it's going to be all guns blazing.
They had a meeting.
Just one limited point. I mean, I know Delhi has a lot of visibility. It's a national capital, but at the end of the day, it's still half a state. It's still 70 seats. Maharashtra is almost 300 seats. It's the second biggest state. I think the next big sort of election that will really define the trajectory to 2029 is, I think, UP. I don't even think Bihar is going to be a fight. Frankly, after today, none of the elections up ahead for the next year and a half until you get to UP in 2027, which is a big state. I don't think any of them are real contests in that sense. The 2026 cycle, which is Tamil Nadu, Bengal, Kerala, again, I don't expect the BJP to do earth-shatteringly well. They might make some inroads in some of those states. It's not traditional BJP strongholds. Delhi is too small. Bihar, I think, Nitish will retain. So basically, what this win in Haryana and Maharashtra has done for the BJP is it's cleared the path. Because had they lost Haryana and had they lost Maharashtra, then that narrative that Mr. Modi and Mr. Modi's stock is on the decline would have really caught on
and
fire.
And the conversation has changed.
Yeah, it's completely
Today it's
changed.
about the fragility of India alliance.
Had
but I want to just ask, Aman, did you say guns blazing or guns blazing? All guns blazing, you said. Guns blazing. Okay.
I'm saying, today, actually Congress lost 2 good days, like Priyanka Gandhi won today. If that was a standalone news, it would have been a news of the day. She would have been newsmaker, giving interviews. Congress, she's entering politics. She won a big victory. Wiped out.
But she did go to
it's there, but the Maharashtra news is so big. Jharkhand victory, if it was just a standalone election, it would have been Congress's day. Again, wiped out with this clean sweep.
Chetan, I think Congress is little careful about, sort of celebrating Priyanka's victory. For other reasons also, there is always going to be, as Rahul Shivshankar was saying earlier in the day, bound to be, comparison between Rahul Gandhi and her, how she's, what was the margin like, how
so she's got a bigger margin now. She's won by over 4 lakh votes, a bigger margin than
and on a lower turnout. On a lower voter turnout, she's won by about
personal relations, how many people she's meeting, how many people she's greeting in parliament. So all kind of things are going to happen.
And it's
also
there
are very few models even in dynasty politics where brother and sister have been there and coexisted
but
peacefully.
Can I ask you a question? Since you covered the Congress so deeply, why didn't Priyanka Gandhi Vadra contest from, let's say, Uttar Pradesh? She has looked after a particular part of Uttar Pradesh. She has managed her mother's constituency, and some people also say that by extension her brother's constituency. Both of them were in some sense available.
So, because she is about 15 years, junior to Rahul Gandhi in electoral politics, and she considers him as, like she says, my leader.
No, but so was Rahul Gandhi junior to his mother. But he took over her bastion. Why couldn't she take over, by extension, her brother's bastion?
Yeah.
I think on the internal Congress, this thing, Rahul is Rahul Gandhi is first among equals. He is a leader. Not
Rahul Shivshankar is playing Narendra Modi here. That's exactly what's happening.
No, see,
right?
I'm only saying, I think one of the problems about projecting this Priyanka victory is because inevitably the opposition will say, but then she chose a safe seat. She's been powered by a particular vote.
Raebareli is a
community. And the association with that community.
The prime ministerial challenger will emerge from Uttar Pradesh. So that's perhaps one of the reasons, and that's a family bastion. So whoever is the legatee officially is Rahul Gandhi. It's not Priyanka Vadra. And there will be a certain tempering of expectations because they would always want to project Rahul Gandhi as the leader. And like Rashid Kidwai said, not Priyanka as someone who's a competitor or someone who should be an alternate. Although there are many within the Congress who would want to see Priyanka lead. That's a different story for another day. But look at that turnout. doesn't it look denser than the 4th of June?
Absolutely. It does look
Manoj Tiwari is speaking. Let's listen in.
हरियाणा के बाद महाराष्ट्र की विजय बहुत बड़ी है। महाराष्ट्र के विजय की समीक्षा हफ्तों करनी चाहिए और मेरा मानना है, मुझे भी 22 जगह पे जाके प्रचार करने का मौका मिला। महाराष्ट्र जैसा राज्य वो एक पार्टी को 231 सीट दे सकता है, एक गठबंधन को। ये इसकी जड़ों में जाने की जरूरत है। महाराष्ट्र जाग गया है और पूरा देश ये समझ लिया है जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कहा है कि एक है तो सेफ है।
He is also former Delhi BJP president. दिल्ली को नहीं जगा पाया वो भी काफी मेहनत की उन्होंने for the BJP. He couldn't do it. How are they going to crack Delhi? That's another question that the BJP will have to answer. If it's a straight fight with Arvind Kejriwal, they would want to showcase that in the political capital of the country that the BJP can assert itself. It may be a smaller constituency, it's half a state, but there is those bragging rights, Zaka, and that's where it stands out. Because if they beat the AAP in Delhi, then they will have eyes on Punjab. There is a greater story there with respect to the Aam Aadmi Party.
I think Delhi, again, BJP has to find a face in Delhi. You have a chief minister who was put in jail. He's going to make that the central focus of his campaign, that he was wrong, much like Hemant Soren did. The reason why Ek Hai was so potent, and it helped overcome whatever divisions that you saw in the BJP's vote breaking up during the Lok Sabha. In Maharashtra, for example, a section of the Marathas went away, a section of the Dalits went away. That they've been able to sort of override with this Ek Hai slogan. And I don't think this Ek Hai is going to stop in Maharashtra. This, I think, the BJP has found, this is its answer. This is its antidote to the caste cleavages that you see, whether it's in the Hindi heartland, whether it's in Maharashtra, wherever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
We've
This was the point that you were making.
Pradip Bhandari, we've got Pradip Bhandari, Sushiben Shah, and also Ravi Srivastav joining us. Pradip Bhandari, what's the mood? We saw you there in the pictures. You've just said namaste to all the leaders walking in, including JP Nadda, Amit Shah, and Rajnath Singh ji. Clearly, the energy is far better than what it was on the 4th of June 2024. Maharashtra is special.
Always was.
Well, Maharashtra and Haryana are special, Anandji, absolutely, I agree, because there was a huge lobby which was an entire faith. But the larger point is that it's the victory of the Bharatiya Samaj which has remained united against the attempt to communalize it, attempt to divide this community on religious line, attempt to spread a narrative of vote jihad. So this is a victory of development, this is a victory of good governance, this is a victory of unity, as the Honorable Prime Minister has said. And I'll tell you how big the victory is. The Congress Party's performance is the number of seats that the Congress Party has got is lesser than the total number of rallies that the Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Vadra have done. So imagine the state of the Congress Party in Maharashtra, and along with that, add to it that for the first time in the history of Maharashtra elections, you have a political party crossing 100 seats for 3 consecutive times, and an alliance crossing 200 seats. And at a time when for the first time since 1962, the women voting percentage in Maharashtra is at par with men voting percentage. So for the first time, there is gender parity in the voting percentage in Maharashtra. So yes, it's a huge victory, a victory for Honorable Prime Minister's slogan of Ek Hai to Safe Hai.
Sushiben Shah, you're very confident. When I met you in Mumbai, many thought that you're being overconfident, but this is a sweet victory, especially with the legacy issue now settled. Would you consider that? Would you believe that now the entire question mark about who did Gaddari, who is actually the real legatee of Balasaheb Thackeray and the Dhanush Band, has that all now been settled?
Yes, good evening to all. And first of all, thank you for having me on your show. And my heartfelt and sincere thanks to the people of Maharashtra and my dear brother from BJP also. Congratulations, well done and
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you too.
It really feels good since I'm a Mumbaikar and we have had a resounding victory here as well. But you see, what is a new narrative according to me, of course, besides being safe hai, ek hai to safe hai, ek hai to nek hai, where OBC, Dalits, Maratha, Vanchit, everyone joined together under that platform. But according to me, the tectonic shift in this political messaging is the women voters. You see, they have voted resoundingly for Mahayuti, whether whatever caste, whatever creed, whether OBC, Maratha, Magaswargi, whatever. So this is the way, and who it was understood by Mahayuti. This Mahavinash Agadi kept on calling them Revdis, they kept on calling them Bhik. But we understood that it is a Sanman. It is an investment in womanhood. Here we have a woman who works day and night for the family, for the society. So this is the way to empower her. So we won.
Ms. Shah, how about giving women more representation in tickets also? That is one consistent thing. You know, that is one consistent theme that is lacking.
You are absolutely right. It is coming. And it is about time we women also fight for a right, because भैया महिलाओं को जब तक लड़ते नहीं है कुछ मिलता नहीं है. And I am a firm believer. Now we are ready. We have showed the Mahayuti, and we have a lot of hope in our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because he was the man who spearheaded the drive of empowering women. Whether Lakpiti Didi, whether Ujjwala scheme, now this Mukhyamantri Lek Ladki Yojana, spearheaded by the CM, but supported by the double engine Sarkar in Delhi. So therefore, I do feel that the next decade is going to be for the women, and Maharashtra has set the
Very
stage.
soon, 33% reservations will officially kick in into electoral politics. Once the delimitation exercise is completed, thereafter all elections will have to, we'll see. So all parties will also have to now see effective cadre, good cadre, not proxies, etc. Ravi Srivastava,
do we have anyone representing the Congress point of view here?
Ravi Srivastava ji,
because you know there is this statement by Rahul Gandhi ji. He says अप्रत्याशित नतीजे का विश्लेषण कर रहे हैं. What is this
unexpected result, unprecedented
well, if you're
result
Rahul
for the
Gandhi, you're
Congress
not
party.
expecting 16 seats out of 102, I guess.
Okay, so when they say विस्तार से विश्लेषण कर रहे हैं, that means in detail they are going to go into it. So what is going to be the outcome? Is this going to be such विस्तार that you know it can go on for 4 or 5 years?
Ravi Srivastava, would you want to take that?
I think, good evening. First of all, I think Rahul's statement is somewhat sarcastic. Yes, this is what Congress says every time, that whenever they lose a particular state, or they say that we will go into the detailed investigation, we'll see that whether Huda failed us or Selja failed us, etc., etc. But ultimately nothing comes out. It's a fact. But the true thing is that I foresee one thing, that I think all next forthcoming elections, Ladki Behan will be the clincher. You can see in every state it is going to happen now. The amount also will keep on rising now, because the Mahayuti party has already announced that they are going to make it 2,100 rupees post-election if they win. So I think this will continue to attract women in all other states, and this will be a first item in the manifesto everywhere.
Do you support it or not? You went to the
Madam,
court.
I did not interrupt you. Please, you have patience.
Congratulations.
No, congratulations does not come by asking. Okay? Congratulations.
अरे रवि जी, आज तो बनता है congratulation. 132 सीट पे बैठी है बीजेपी और 57 पे शिंदे सेना. Congratulation तो बनती है रवि जी. बधाई तो बनती है.
One victory is good enough. But then you should also see the same एक है safe है did not work in the Jharkhand. So you have to analyze it in the both ways. Yeah, it has worked here, but it did not work there. घुसपैठियों को हम
there also, but what did not work, or those who did not work in Maharashtra did not work in Jharkhand also. I mean the Congress party, because the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha believes the Congress did not do enough. RJD also believes the Congress did not do enough. In fact, the JMM, the RJD, the CPM, they seem to have done better in Jharkhand compared to the Congress's performance. And Zaka on the wall, perhaps we can bear me out on this. even as we wait for the PM to come. Quick conversation on Jharkhand before we...
So net, I think the Congress did not lose. It had 16 last time, it got 16 this time. The JMM had 4 more. It had 30 last time, it's got 34. But this is a coalition. I mean, the JMM cannot form a government on its own. It needs to have a coalition. So Congress will be part of it, RJD will be part of it, CPIML will be part of it. So together they have 56.
Halfway number is 41.
41,
If without the Congress, they are at 40. So that's the story. That's the story within the Jharkhand alliances or the Mahagathbandhan in Jharkhand, that the likes of RJD and CPML actually picked up seats.
But I think the Jharkhand story was very simple. The tribal pride was hurt. Hemant Soren made that the single point agenda of his campaign. And I think he went to the people with that.
How many of the 18 seats did the BJP win?
Ultimately, if you look at the tribal seats, for example, the BJP is struggling in the tribal seats. It's only won one, and which is Champai Soren's seat, by the way.
Yeah.
He was, again, you know, he's ex-JMM. It's not even like a hardcore BJP person who won that. So the BJP did not win any of the tribal seats other than Champai Soren's seat. So they have a problem there in terms of finding a tribal face who is acceptable, who can unify the state unit of the party and also compete against Hemant Soren.
Should we just ask Pradip
Bhandari?
Pradip Bhandari, one question, of course, on Ek Hai, Safe Hai not clicking. In Jharkhand, you were on the show last night and we had that conversation where you thought that Jharkhand, perhaps it'll be a tight contest, but you might pull it through. That didn't happen. And secondly, will now Ek Hai, Safe Hai become the leitmotif of the campaign going forward, or what about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas?
Haven't heard that one.
Well, Rahul ji, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Ek Hai to Safe Hai has the same common denomination, which is of unity. So the grammar, the political grammar of the two would be different, but the political messaging of both of them is similar. The Nara is different because the context of Ek Hai, Safe Hai is different from what the context of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas was, but the principle of it is unity. On the Jharkhand point, I do admit with what Zaka is saying, that we've not been able to perform well in the tribal seats, and this is a consistent between last election and this election, because we did fight 11 less seats than last time. However, our vote share was intact at 33%. So as I reiterate that our vote share has not dipped in Jharkhand, it is our inability this time to not get the tribal seats, which I agree we have to work towards, and we're a party which works on the ground, and you will see us improving on that aspect for sure.
Well, Devendra Fadnavis has won from Nagpur Southwest, 39,710 votes. He's defeated Prafulla Gudade Patil. That's as per the ECI, the confirmation that's come.
No, but Pradip Bhandari, you didn't answer the question. The question was very specific, and that was, why did you not win over the tribals? Is it because, as Zaka said, it's obvious that the tribals felt really hurt, their pride was dented when you locked up their chief minister, and it probably came across to them as a party that doesn't respect tribals? Is that really what happened? Pradip Bhandari, what's the reason?
Well, we will analyze it seat by seat, Rahulji, but an immediate analysis of it is what I can definitely tell you is maybe our messaging to the tribals in terms of what we are intending to deliver did not catch eyes, because this is a consistent thing which has happened in this election and the last election. The 28 seats which are tribal dominated, we've not been able to do significantly well. However, we do significantly well in that area, even the Lok Sabha. So we will go back to the drawing board. We will analyze the 28 seats seat by seat. And after, when we find a commonality in why it is not happening, we will come to a conclusion.
Just
However,
one point,
yes.
Since we're talking about tribal seats, Pradeep, you'll be interested in knowing this. In Maharashtra, the tribal seats, the reserve seats, 25 ST reserve seats, NDA won 22 and India Alliance only 3. And if you look at the breakup of the ST reserve seats, BJP has won 10, NCP Ajit Pawar has won 6, and Shinde Sena has won 6. So 22 out of the 28 reserved constituents, 22 out of 25, ST reserve in Maharashtra they have won. The NDA has won.
Zaka, I think even in Maharashtra, we're leading in farm-dominated areas, we're leading in women-dominated seats, we're leading in OBC-dominated seats, and we're also leading in Dalit and tribal-dominated seats. In Jharkhand in particular, I think this is a case in point because it has happened in 2 successive elections, and maybe we have to wonder and think about a representative tribal phase. But again, it's a strategy of the party. We cannot make a conclusion
lights,
immediately after election.
despite your Pradesh chief being a former chief minister and a tribal face, it's not worked because the Raghubar Das aspect and also the way Hemant Soren was treated seems to have had an emotive connect with the Adivasi Samudaya on ground. So the Adivasi Asmita as an aspect seems to have hurt the BJP's cause, despite similar vote shares or a higher vote share in the state. We've got Nikul Patel, leader of the Congress party, with us. Congratulations on Jharkhand, where the Mahagathbandhan has done very, very well. But what's happened in Maharashtra? Commiserations there. And the Congress 16 out of 102 in a state where you're supposed to be very strong.
Yeah, definitely. We welcome the mandate from the Jharkhand, and our alliance is going to form the government. We are happy with it, but definitely the Maharashtra is a big setback for Congress as well as the alliance, because the predicted results and what we were expecting were not in line with what we have thought of. Now it's a major setback in Maharashtra. As per Lok Sabha, if we have compared, then definitely the results are not in favor of us. What is the cause of it? That we'll look into it, and in future we'll be working on it. Apart from that, we would like to congratulate even Bharatiya Janata Party for having this big success, and definitely their Mahayuti is going to form the government for next 5 years.
You know, what I'm really curious about, and Rohit, Aman, if you guys want to weigh in, this whole thing about, the votes did not transfer. In the Lok Sabha election, BJP workers were reluctant to campaign for Ajit Pawar. That somehow has magically happened now. Again, in the Lok Sabha election, Muslims were voting for Sena UBT candidates. Sena UBT candidates were winning on the back of Muslim votes. That doesn't seem to have happened this time. This vote transfer business, it didn't happen last time, it happened now in a space of 4 months. How and why, Rohit?
I think, Jaka, it has a lot to do with also the, the cohesion. I think in the alliance this time was better. The BJP and I think the RSS groundwork on the ground has really helped the Mahayuti. But I think the glue in this whole thing is the women's scheme. I think I think that's the number one reason why they want to see. If you go to a village, I would just like to take 2 minutes. If you go to a village and you speak to women there, which I did, 1,500 rupees in a village for a rural woman is a very, very big deal. She has never had money of her own. I had women telling me...
not just one woman in a family.
Yes, but still, they could be two. And, I had women who said, I have bought a sari for myself for the first time in my life. I have never bought a sari for myself. I've never bought, clothes for my children. So I think that is a very, very big deal. Women... and whoever has the first mover advantage, we are seeing that in Jharkhand as well. The 1,000 rupees that Hemant Soren has given after he came out of jail, that has worked for him. And similarly, I think this women's scheme is going to become
and it was
a
not
template.
Just one installment. They got 3 installments.
Rahul, if it becomes a template, we have 140 crore people, 70 crore women. Let's say 50% of the women get 35 crore women getting 2,000 rupees a month. It's 70,000 crore rupees a month. It's around 10 lakh crores a year. Indian government budget is around 40-45 lakh crore. So there's going to be a bill.
It's huge. No, but
it's huge. And there's going to be inflation and high interest.
It points to something else, Mr. Bhagat, and it points to very clearly a lack of jobs in rural India. There is a problem, and you can't constantly be sort of, giving direct benefit transfers to cover it up. So someone needs to now get in, roll up their sleeves.
BJP has already announced for women voters. I will not be surprised if BJP also next month announces that in Delhi also
in this case the number is not 50% of the women. One, the number is not 50% of the women. There is a very clear income filter. One. Secondly, these are women who are doing a lot of work, but they have no income of their own directly. It's an aspect of Asmita or again self. Dependence or independence, if you were to say financial independence, and that's where this thing has worked. Yeah, but we've got to take a break. We've got to take a break. PM is expected any moment now. We'll be right back.
Co-powered by
महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने जो अप्रत्याशित इस प्रकार की जीत हमको दी है, इससे ये बात पूरी तरीके से स्थापित होती है कि महाराष्ट्र ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के पीछे है और मोदी जी ने जो नारा दिया था, एक है तो सेफ है, इस नारे को यथार्थ में लाते हुए महाराष्ट्र के सभी समाज के सभी लोगों ने एकता दिखाते हुए महाराष्ट्र में मतदान किया है और इसके कारण ये इतनी अच्छी जीत हमको मिली है। मैं विशेष रूप से हमारी लाडली बहनों का, लाडले भाइयों का, लाडले किसानों का, सभी का बहुत आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूँ। लाडली बहनों ने तो बहुत आशीर्वाद हमको दिया है, जिसके कारण हम लोग निश्चित रूप से एक अच्छा विजय यहाँ पर संपन्न कर पाए। इसके साथ साथ लोकसभा में जिस फेक नैरेटिव को तैयार किया गया था और यहाँ पर जिन ताकतों ने अराजकता के माध्यम से फेक नैरेटिव को परकोलेट किया था, उनके खिलाफ लड़ने वाली सारी जो राष्ट्रीय ताकतें थी, जो राष्ट्रवादी विचारों की जितनी हमारी ताकतें थी, वो सारी ताकतों ने मैदान में उतरकर उस फेक नैरेटिव को समाप्त कर दिया। इसलिए उन सभी संगठनों का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं जिन्होंने ये करके दिखाया। साथ साथ महाराष्ट्र में जो पोलराइजेशन का प्रयास किया गया था और किसी जाति विशेष, धर्म विशेष को, एक धर्म विशेष को पोलराइज करने का जो प्रयास किया गया था, मुझे लगता है वो प्रयास सफल नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में एक बहुत बड़ी परंपरा है, संतों की परंपरा है। इस परंपरा का निर्वाह करने वाले अलग अलग पंथों के जो हमारे सारे साधु संत हैं, उनका भी आशीर्वाद हमको मिला, जिन्होंने बिल्कुल गांव-गांव तक जाकर अलख जगाया और एक रहने का संदेश दिया, जिसके कारण मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि एक बहुत अच्छा विजय हमको मिला है। विशेष रूप से हमारे मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी, उप मुख्यमंत्री अजितदादा पवार जी, रामदास अठौले जी और हमारे साथ की जितनी छोटी पार्टियां हैं, हम सब लोग एक साथ रहे, एक साथ मिलकर हमने ये काम किया। इसलिए मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ कि इस एकता का ये विजय है, जो हमारी महायुति थी, अभेद्य इस प्रकार की महायुति थी, महायुति का ये विजय है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ। और साथ साथ मैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का तो आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, उनके कारण ही हमको ये जीत मिली है। लेकिन हमारे देश के गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी, जिन्होंने महाराष्ट्र में आकर कार्यकर्ताओं में एक ऊर्जा का संचार किया, मैं उनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व हमारे नड्डा जी हैं, हमारे राजनाथ जी हैं, हमारे नितिन गडकरी जी हैं, इनका भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। हमारे जो चुनाव के प्रभारी हैं, हमारे जो महाराष्ट्र से मंत्री हैं, इन सभी का मैं बहुत दिल से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि पूरी पार्टी ताकत से हमारे साथ खड़ी हुई। और सबसे महत्व की बात है, हमारे नेताओं ने, हमारी पार्टी ने केवल बीजेपी की सीटों पर काम नहीं किया, हमारी पार्टी ने सारे के सारे महाराष्ट्र के जितने 288 सीटें थी, हमारे दोस्तों की सीटों पर भी काम किया। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इसके कारण एक बहुत अच्छा यहाँ कार्य संपन्न हुआ। हमारे भूपेंद्र यादव जी, अश्विनी वैष्णव जी, हमारे शिवप्रकाश जी, इनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे यहाँ पर जो हमारे सारे अलग अलग प्रांतों से भी जिन लोगों ने हमको मदद की, उनका भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। हमारे पीयूष जी का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, हमारे शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक प्रकार से सामूहिक रूप से हम लोग जब उतरे, तो ये सामूहिक ताकत एक ऐसी ताकत बनी जिसने दिखा दिया कि महाराष्ट्र ये मोदी जी के ही साथ है।
Back live on Result Day Live here. Battle for the states. It's gone 1-all. Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and Congress retain Jharkhand, and the Mahagathbandhan in Jharkhand retains. So it's a pro-incumbency mandate there, like it's a pro-incumbency mandate in Maharashtra. But it's the Maharashtra numbers that have surprised all. This is historic. Never before has Maharashtra handed over a mandate so comprehensive to anybody, especially in a pro-incumbency vote. The other aspect is also the turnout has been a record turnout in 3 decades. Female voting patterns have married each other or matched each other. That's also an unprecedented occurrence in Maharashtra. Across regions, we've got our guests. We are waiting for the Prime Minister to arrive at the BJP headquarters. There should be a victory speech and a celebration. The atmosphere far more festive than Haryana and definitely more festive than Lok Sabha 2024 or the 4th of June 2024. Pradip Bhandari with us, Nikul Patel with us, Sushiben Shah with us. Nikul Patel, where do you think the Congress lost the Maharashtra election? Because it was the Mahavikas Aghadi's election to lose, especially after the momentum they had in the Lok Sabha.
To me?
Yes.
Anand?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The way the entire thing happened in Lok Sabha election 24 and the vote percentage increased share of Mahavikas Aghadi had given confidence to us that definitely in Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha election we'll be able to more confidently win more seats. But the way the results are there and the mandate of the people, definitely now we have to accept it. Definitely in Marathwada, whether it is Vidarbha or whether it is Konkan area, everywhere the Congress had not been able to perform as what we have expected. And as you rightly say that out of 100 plus what we have contested, we are able to win very marginal seats. And we found it the most less strike rate as you were discussing last night in the evening. So many things to work on, especially the vote banks, what we are discussing of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, Hindu, Muslim, everyone. Definitely the scheme of that Mahila has worked out for Bharatiya Janata Party well, and whenever we used to come out with some scheme, they say that it's a Revdi culture. But now Bharatiya Janata Party is also following the Revdi culture, and they want to attract the voters by putting some schemes which will be giving lust.
Womanhood. Come on.
Pardon? Pardon?
Economic empowerment of women. It's about time you recognize women's participation in running a household, running a home, running a society. Stop calling it Revdi for heaven's sake.
See, we are not telling it's a Revdi culture. We are always helping out and we are
never
always coming to
was.
the
No one has called it a Revdi culture, save and except Mahavinash Aghadi. Maybe Bhik. I mean, you know, as arms that you're giving the women. So now it's...
you don't
as far
create
as
a
Maharashtra is concerned, gentlemen, as far as Maharashtra is concerned, we have the highest GSDP. It is in the budget. So we can very well afford it. We are not like Karnataka, we are not like Telangana who announce karke bhag jate hain. We will not only give, we will increase it to 21,100. Why
No,
not?
but there is also, however, a big deficit problem. There's a debt servicing problem. It's not as if, you know, the
4.5 lakh crores is
exactly.
Maharashtra's
So it's
public
not
debt.
as if everything is, hunky dory. But one second, you know, the one good thing in all of this, and please do respond after. The one good thing that one has to say is that Maharashtra has at least picked stability. The 5 years of instability, and we need that in a state which has the Mumbai, which is the economic powerhouse. So at least from that point of view.
Just one caveat. Maharashtra voted for stability in 2019 also.
You could say that, yes.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Right.
It was a clear, comprehensive mandate in 2019 where the Mahayuti at that time had 162 seats. It was Uddhav Thackeray who decided to split and splinter, and the betrayal of the voter happened.
This time, let's not even leave that to chance.
I'm also curious 90%. To know, what is Uddhav Thackeray's incentive to stay on in the opposition? Rohit, maybe you can weigh in on this. He gets nothing by staying on in the opposition. He might as well go back to the NDA.
I don't think he has any choice. I don't think he's required in the NDA. I don't think they're going to take him even if he wants to go. And, you know, you have to look at the last 10-year history. Since 2014, when BJP got this big majority in Maharashtra, there's been a systematic effort to cut down Uddhav Thackeray to size. Uddhav Thackeray's party became the junior member of the alliance, which was always the senior member previously. And Uddhav, you know, tolerated it for a long time and then did what he was expected to do or supposed to do. The next battle is, of course, Mumbai Municipal Corporation. I don't think Uddhav Thackeray wants to go back to the NDA. The NDA also doesn't want him.
But where does this leave him?
Amit
With
Shah,
20 seats, you know, he's 1/3 of the seats that Shinde Sena has. Where does this leave him?
Yes. And Home Minister Amit Shah has told some of our very senior friends from media and other industries that he doesn't want to, this is off the record, I suppose, but he said he doesn't want to connect with Uddhav Thackeray ever again. I mean, that is BJP's view on Uddhav Thackeray.
So you're
I
saying
don't
they
think
want to actually sort of finish him politically, and that probably will also apply to Sharad Pawar, leave nothing to chance. So there's just no way that these people can reconcile.
At some point, it was Arun Jaitley, senior leader of BJP, who realized that if there is Hindutva space in Maharashtra, there's no point in having a partner sharing that space. So it was the think tank under Arun Jaitley which decided that they want to slowly corner Uddhav Thackeray, which they have done in the last 10 years successfully, and Uddhav Thackeray realized it too late. And I think it's too late for him now. I don't know what his future course is going to be.
And what are they going to do to Mr. Shinde then, if that's the strategy?
They will have Shinde in their alliance as long as it takes. And I think they will use him in the upcoming municipal polls, and then they will do what they want to do. But the thing
What do
is,
they want to do?
But the thing is, there is no scope for Uddhav Thackeray in NDA at all. I mean, there is no scope. Absolutely.
So on this, 2 quick points. See, the point you're making on Jaitley, there was a view in the BJP led by Amit Shah and Narendra Modi that in the Pramod Mahajan years, they were a waste for the BJP for 8 or 9 years, because the idea was that BJP accepted a subordinate position to the Shiv Sena for many years, and that became the party of Hindutva in Maharashtra, whereas BJP was the party of Hindutva in North India. And they said, look, this is not going to continue. So this is the culmination of that process.
And this is why Uddhav also betrayed the BJP that minute, because it was an existential crisis right then. If he did not become a chief minister then, he would have anyway been wiped out.
And remember one thing, that despite all of the ideological conversation, Veer Savarkar is one figure which no Maharashtra leader is willing to criticize, including Sharad Pawar, including Uddhav Thackeray, and all of that. So the BJP is basically cashed in on that. To your question, Chetan, on what happens to Mr. Shinde, I think the BJP will be perfectly okay with a subordinate partner as long as it remains subordinate, and eventually, they'll get gobbled up, and then the midterm long term.
Because I think Rohit's point is valid. I mean, why are there two Hindutva parties? As Chetan says, there are too many parties already in Maharashtra.
If we have 40 seconds, if I can take 40 seconds, I can give you some information which was given to me, a group of 3-4 journalists by Pramod Mahajan, that there was a grand plan in 2004, and he told us this in 2004, to replace Uddhav Thackeray with Sharad Pawar. And they actually had meetings with Sharad Pawar, and Sharad Pawar showed some inclination initially and then backed off. So BJP has been at it since 2004. They always thought that Uddhav Thackeray was a burden. It's become obvious now. But behind the curtains, they always thought, the think tank always thought that Uddhav Thackera's Shiv Sena was a burden for BJP, and now it has finally happened.
But here's the thing, while we do all of this analysis, which are the parties which actually tried to become pan-Maharashtra parties, which tried to grow their footprint pan-Maharashtra? Did the regional Chhatraps, be it Sharad Pawar's NCP or Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena, ever become a pan-Maharashtra party? Or was it the BJP that continuously started increasing its footprint? It's the BJP that's the only party in Maharashtra that's crossed the 100 number thrice.
So Anand, you know what
no,
has
no
happened?
other party has crossed 100.
So
they are also to blame that they didn't grow themselves when the BJP was very small.
Like the Congress, when it does well, some of the other ideologically aligned parties, regional parties, get little
But in Maharashtra, Rahul,
so
even the Congress never grew.
That's what I'm saying.
Never
So
won
the
100
BJP
seats.
is like the Congress today in Maharashtra, which is the single pole right now. And, you've seen it in the numbers. In fact, there's a lovely graphic that, we've tweeted out where you see how the BJP has mirrored the performance of the Congress over the decades. So today, that party, within its own sort of ecosystem, has become the dominant. And that's really why Uddhav Thackeray had a problem and said, this party is going to swallow me up, because the base is pretty much the same. It's only a matter of time.
But when the Shiv Sena had the power, when the Shiv Sena was present in very powerful municipal councils, like the BMC and some of the others, did they actually grow themselves and work hard to grow themselves to become a pan-Maharashtra party? The same question of the NCP. The NCP, is it a pan-Maharashtra party? Who has put in the effort to try and push in, build in cadre, become a pan-Maharashtra party from a nondescript entity in the 1980s? Rashid Kidwai, that is something that you have to also turn around and look and ask. Who's putting the effort? Who's going ahead and saying, I'm not giving up, I'm only going to increase my strike rate year after year, or election cycle after election cycle?
Why is that hunger not there in the regional Chhatrap?
Just one line,
so I think-
Rashid bhai, just one line. I think they tried, Anand, they tried. I know how they tried in Marathwada. I know how they tried in other regions. They couldn't manage it. They couldn't handle it. They didn't succeed in it. But they tried. You know, Shiv Sena spread to Marathwada, Aurangabad.
Bhujbal famously was with Shiv Sena for a long
See,
time.
all other regional Chhatrap, just give me 30 seconds. Any other regional state, regional Chhatraps.
Anand, I would like to add here.
Yeah, coming to you, Nikul Patel. JDU, DMK, BRS, even JDS, they all were pan-state parties. Maharashtra is very unique that you had two parties who claim that they are Maratha and their regular legacy, but neither of them has ever been a pan-Maharashtra party. Yes, Nikul Patel.
See, I would like to acknowledge whatever the other person is telling, but I would like to say the Bharatiya Janata Party has a mindset of grabbing the regional parties and bringing their own MLAs and people to their own party. You can see in 2019 what happened. They have divided the Shiv Sena and UBT or NCP, and they have put their people into their party, forming the government. So the regional parties has to make sure that if they are forming government with the Bharatiya Janata Party, in future their existence is going to be a big question mark. You can take the history.
Let Pradip Bhandari respond.
Bharatiya Janata Party started with a small fraction, and then they try to grab the people in their own party. Whether it is from Congress, they say Congress Mukt Bharat, but they have now Congress Yukt Bharat. Bhajap.
Congress Yukt Bhajap. Okay. Yes, Pradip Bhandari.
Now the people of Maharashtra have given the verdict that it was Uddhav Thackeray who disrespected the mandate in 2019, and this 200 plus tells you how bad 2.5 years of Uddhav Thackeray's government was and how good our 2.5 years was. Imagine in 2.5 years of governance, you've been reduced to 50 seats. In just 2.5 years of governance, and in 2.5 years of our governance in Maharashtra, we have clocked 200 plus seats, and it's just not a recent phenomenon of our growth. In 1985, we were just a 7.25% vote share party in Maharashtra, and the Congress party was 43.41% vote share party in Maharashtra. Since 1985 to 2024, every election the Congress party has seen a dip in its vote share, and every successive election has seen an increase or constancy in our vote share. So it's an effort of last 40 years that we've become a pan-Maharashtra party where we got the catalysts under Prime Minister Narendra Modi since 2014. So you need to self-introspect rather than blaming us and blaming the voters. How you have become a completely depreciating party.
If you feel that Bharatiya Janata Party is growing on their own under the power of Narendra Modi, why you want to break the other party and bring people into your own party?
One second. I think, the fundamental point is, and Rashid can weigh in on this as well, there will always be two poles in Maharashtra politics. There will be the Hindutva-led pole. Of course, the BJP is the prime pole in that. There will be offshoots like Shinde Sena, NCP, Ajit Pawar, etc. But that will be one side of the political spectrum. There will always be an anti-BJP vote or an anti-Hindutva vote, which the Congress and various iterations of the Congress, at the end of the day, Sharad Pawar was in the Congress. He was a Congress chief minister for a number of decades until he splintered away and formed his own parties. So the NCP is merely a derivative of the Congress party. The problem for Uddhav Thackeray is, he is the sore thumb that sticks out. His voter has deserted him. His Shakha Pramukhs have deserted him. You can bet these 20 MLAs that he has, it's just a matter of time before they desert him.
Yeah.
So the point is, he is in the opposite camp, competing for the opposite camp's vote, when his vote is actually, the Hindutva vote. So it's an unsustainable sort of three-wheeler. If the Aghadi is a three-wheeler, the third wheel it's just a matter of time before the third wheel comes off.
Absolutely.
Rashid.
Yeah, Devendra Fadnavis is doing a press conference in Nagpur. He's just arrived in Nagpur. We just see if he's speaking to the media outside the airport. We'll see if you're getting that feed. He's been speaking, and his team has just put that out on X also. We'll try and see what he's saying in Nagpur. He's gone to collect his winner's certificate.
Raj Thackeray has made a comment in the colloquial
channel. In
he's saying Avishwasniya.
Yeah, but he's pointing towards Uddhav Thackeray. So maybe we can bring that into the conversation with our guests.
He's also saying that this is an unprecedented mandate that has happened. So that's where the message that has come. He's saying Tutar se evadach. So that's what, this is what it is.
That's what it is out of the entire Tutari and Mashal. That's what he's saying. Itna hi nikla tumhara isme se. That's what he's mocking them actually, is he?
Basically, Raj Thackeray fielded many candidates, and it became evident that he was the one who cut Uddhav down.
Huh.
I mean, in about, in the evening, I was just looking at the data and realized that in about 18 constituencies, Uddhav Thackeray's candidates lost only because Raj Thackeray's candidates cut
But
into
many
their
say
vote.
Aditya Thackeray won only because Raj Thackeray had his candidate in Worli and
I
Milind
was
Deora
looking at
lost
the
because
Worli
of
thing.
that.
Sandeep Deshpande, who is the MNS candidate from their poll, 20,000 votes. Aditya Thackeray's winning margin was about 6,000 or 7,000 votes. So clearly, he helped. If that 20,000 votes, even a fragment of it went to Milind Deora would probably have won. But I think, more than the individual seat questions and so on, I think this is going to be an existential question for Uddhav Thackeray, certainly. Maybe to a lesser extent, Ajit Pawar and Supriya Sule, because from election cycle to election cycle, things change. But for Uddhav Thackeray, it's an existential thing because you're in the wrong camp fighting for the wrong vote. Rashid.
Absolutely, and he has no kind of support base. Zaka, there's been a lot of history of several political parties where this kind of sort of split took place, and the one side of it will completely go away. You look at when MGR died, Janaki Ramchandran was, in fact, she became chief minister, and she and Jayalalitha, and then finally Jayalalitha became face of
So the biggest
ADMK.
tension really right now is for Aditya Thackeray. How is he going to, this is a great opportunity for him also, Rohit ji. This is his opportunity to perhaps reclaim some of that ground that has been ceded in the delusion of pursuing some sort of a secular politics. I don't know.
Where is the
I
space?
think Aditya.
One side is the BJP, other side is Congress and NCP.
No, I think
something has to be done.
I think
Obviously,
Aditya. I think Aditya wants to make a new beginning, and some of us who spoke with Uddhav Thackeray about let's say a month ago, Uddhav Thackeray was heard saying that he is now tired of all this because he has many health problems also. He has serious health problems, Uddhav Thackeray. And, he was just speaking to some reporters, and he said, you can write about this, not an issue. And what he said was his ambition or his target now is to settle Aditya Thackeray in state politics. I don't know how far that has happened now. Obviously, that's not happened now.
So how do you see Aditya Thackeray now taking his legacy forward? Is he going to stay? Which camp is he going to?
Chapter in Maharashtra.
Aditya, I think, has to start afresh now. I mean, this is a new beginning that he has to make, and he will have to collaborate with Congress party. I mean, there is no option left for him.
But the thing is, Aditya Thackeray does not align with the thought process of Balasaheb Thackeray. He always has a different thought process altogether. He's a fantastic youth leader. He's got great plans. He's quite popular among the youth. But is he going to be able to really, is it a long road for him in electoral politics, given what has happened? And will he be able to galvanize Ubata or the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena right now? That's thing. And what also happens to the entire court fight for the court battle for the symbol now? Where does all that now end up given this mandate?
That will become simple because the split in political parties has to do with the organizational network. And now that more and more Sena people will be moving to Eknath Shinde's faction. So I think in terms of numbers, they will have that 2/3 or whatever is required by election commission to become official Shiv Sena. That's what happened whenever splits took place in the Congress party.
No, let's not also forget, Anand, that now with this mandate, the pressure will be on the BJP, the NDA, whichever circumstance it appears, to deliver actually. This is now a mandate for them to say, okay, we've given you a full...
Why do you want...
We've got Mr. Pratul Patel joining us. Pratul Patel ji, namaste. This is Anand here. With me, Zaka Jacob and Rahul Shivshankar. Congratulations are in order. What a phenomenal performance for the Shiv Sena.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also for the NCP Ajit Pawar. Fantastic performance.
Thank you. And I would say all credit to the people of Maharashtra for making the right decision and giving us such an overwhelming victory. And be honest, we expected to win, but not with this massive landslide mandate. And therefore, it's added responsibility to deliver a good government and to keep going on with all the good schemes which are already being launched by our
If I may ask, Prafulji, 4th of June 2024, what were you thinking? And 23rd of November 2024, what are you thinking?
Well, 4th of June was definitely very challenging and very much, I would say, the mood was of despondency. But I would say that when there's adversity, then you think and you try to work much harder, and everybody put on their thinking cap, all the three parties, because all three of us did badly. We are shown in bad light because we had contested the least number of seats, because there were so many sitting MPs of Shiv Sena and the BJP, which left us with very few seats. And just because we lost Baramati, it turned out to be as if, NCP is finished.
Yeah.
But I would say very clearly that from that day on, nobody, said, okay, let's see, whatever happens will happen. Everybody said, no, we have to fight back. And that's exactly what has happened. You've seen all three parties doing exceedingly well. And you see, the problem in Lok Sabha was too many things came suddenly, in Maharashtra especially. One was the fake narrative of the constitution. And for the first time, we found that even Adivasis, who traditionally would not be voting against, they get divided. But they went one way, the Dalits went one way, and the Muslims went one way. And there's nothing we could do because, there was no real narrative. But the fact was it was a fake narrative. And it sank into people's mind. The second thing which went wrong, at the same time, it was just, I would say, bad luck or bad timing, that onion prices fell, the soybean prices, the cotton prices, and the milk prices. So it led to a little bit of rural, naturally, distress and anger. And by the time, it was unfortunate because the previous 5 years, all things were going right in terms of prices for the farmer. So, I would say the moment's anger converted into a landslide for the, Mahavikas Agad.
Mr. Patel, one thing that obviously was done and probably thought through to unite this splintered vote, first of all, congratulations, was of course to come up with Ek Hai, Safe Hai, this catch-all, unite-all sort of slogan. Now, there was some unease in your camp about this slogan. First of all, why was there unease? And secondly, in hindsight, do you think this was a communal slogan, or was it actually a secular slogan asking people to come together so that they could press for their rights in a manner?
Let me be honest. The Ek Hai, Safe Hai was never the slogan on which there was any difference of opinion, because it's a good slogan. It's an all-inclusive slogan. It almost resonates with Prime Minister's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, Vishwas, whatever. It resonates. So we are not against that at all. Only one time Mr. Ajit Pawar spoke was on that Batenge to Katenge, which Yogi Adityanath came to Maharashtra and said in a speech, which was not something which even otherwise, you may have an agenda, but you don't speak this language. And especially, we also have a background of being in the Shiv Shahu Phule Ambedkar ideology, which is very, I would say resonates very strongly with the people of Maharashtra. And let me be honest, even the BJP does not speak such a, resonates with what we are saying. And they are not against, because BJP also in Maharashtra has grown organically and inorganically. When I say inorganically, more than 60% of their leaders who have been elected now, maybe more than 60%, have come from maybe a Congress background or an NCP background. Okay. And therefore, it's a very different kind of a BJP agenda driven in Maharashtra. Maybe compared to what is being practiced in UP.
One question, which is that the difference between what happened in June and now, many say, is this Ladki Behna. Do you think that will now become the template that parties are now going to promise 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, whatever it is for women, and bank on the women vote to see them through?
Ladki Behin, of course, was a big success and one of the contributors to more women coming out to vote and more women voting for the Mahayuti, which is a fact. And it is a good scheme. And let me put it in this way, that I would say instead of looking at it as a SOP, it should be looked at as women's empowerment. And it could be replicated all over the country by all parties. There's nothing wrong with it. The real issue is that when we gave this scheme, the Maha Vikas Aghadi made the big mistake of opposing this scheme and saying that, Maharashtra can't afford it. This scheme is there for a few months. You just take your money out quickly before it goes back. And then in their own manifesto, they go back and say, no, we want this scheme and we will give you twice as much as these people are giving. So, they fell flat on this kind of an agenda. Not so much as the fact that we gave it and we took advantage of it. They lost out more because they had actually gone and opposed it publicly. That is one factor. The other factor is that our government, has got the rural agenda right. Because the farmers in Maharashtra, you see, every farmer is not committing suicide in Maharashtra also. Let me be honest, because, a lot of this campaign goes on that, there's so many farmer suicides in Maharashtra. That's not a fact. But the real reason is that farmers need to be further empowered. Now, Prime Minister gives the Jan Samman Nidhi from Delhi, 6,000 rupees. We give an equal matching amount in Maharashtra. Then farmers were complaining of high electricity costs. We waived off the past dues and we've made it free for the, pumps up to 7.5 horsepower. Plus, we'll give solar pumps to whoever is asking for it. So these 2-3 things for the farmers, and combined with the fact that what happened in the Lok Sabha with the onion prices and all the other prices went down, we had all the prices coming back to normal, and the farmers were therefore not unhappy because of any prices. A combination of these factors, and also remember one thing, our government, and we must give credit to Devendra Fadnavis, to Shinde also, that the infrastructure development of all our cities is going on at a breakneck speed.
Prafulji, quickly,
it is something you.
I'm interrupting you because we're standing by for the PM to come anytime in Delhi. So quickly, I want to ask you, is the legacy issue of who is the true legatee of NCP and the Ghadi symbol, is that settled? And secondly, all these schemes that have been promised, can Maharashtra afford it? Will your government now be able to afford it?
I can assure you about the second answer is that 101% Maharashtra can afford it. See, Maharashtra's economy, remember, is something way beyond the economies of many other states. So I don't want to get into a debate with this state versus that state. But the fact is, Maharashtra has got a strong economic base and it's growing. Right. It's growing rapidly. Investment is happening. GST collections are at record high. The stamp duty registrations, the excise.
Right. And the first part of the question, the legacy.
So first part, the first part is who is the true legatee. See, nothing can be decided in the courts of law. It can only be decided in a democracy in the People's Court. Now, the People's Court, the verdict is very clear. So let me not, rub it in, but I just want to say that the people of Maharashtra have convincingly answered who would be considered the NCP.
Pratul Patel ji, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations are in order yet again. So it's an evening to celebrate for all around in the Mahayuti. There are pictures coming in from Nagpur where Devendra Fadnavis has just come home, and Sarita ji, Devendra ji's mother, is actually receiving them with a traditional aarti and tilak. And that's how he's coming in home. And we give him to understand, Mr. Nitin Gadkari is also present there. Gadkari ji is standing right behind Devendra Fadnavis. 80 rallies he himself did, campaigns and rallies. And 77 of those constituencies where he visited, Nitin Gadkari visited, there's been victory for the NDA or the Mahayuti. On that note, we're going to take a very short break. Prime Minister expected any moment now at the BJP headquarters.
महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने जो अप्रत्याशित इस प्रकार की जीत हमको दी है, इससे ये बात पूरी तरीके से स्थापित होती है कि महाराष्ट्र ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के पीछे है। और मोदी जी ने जो नारा दिया था, एक है तो सेफ है, इस नारे को यथार्थ में लाते हुए महाराष्ट्र के सभी समाज के सभी लोगों ने एकता दिखाते हुए महाराष्ट्र में मतदान किया है और इसके कारण ये इतनी अच्छी जीत हमको मिली है। मैं विशेष रूप से हमारी लाडली बहनों का, लाडले भाइयों का, लाडले किसानों का, सभी का बहुत आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूँ। लाडली बहनों ने तो बहुत आशीर्वाद हमको दिया है, जिसके कारण हम लोग निश्चित रूप से एक अच्छा विजय यहाँ पर संपन्न कर पाए। इसके साथ साथ लोकसभा में जिस फेक नैरेटिव को तैयार किया गया था और यहाँ पर जिन ताकतों ने अराजकता के माध्यम से फेक नैरेटिव को परकोलेट किया था, उनके खिलाफ लड़ने वाली सारी जो राष्ट्रीय ताकतें थी, जो राष्ट्रवादी विचारों की जितनी हमारी ताकतें थी, वो सारी ताकतों ने मैदान में उतरकर उस फेक नैरेटिव को समाप्त कर दिया। इसलिए उन सभी संगठनों का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं जिन्होंने ये करके दिखाया। साथ साथ महाराष्ट्र में जो पोलराइजेशन का प्रयास किया गया था और किसी जाति विशेष, धर्म विशेष को, एक धर्म विशेष को पोलराइज करने का जो प्रयास किया गया था, मुझे लगता है वो प्रयास सफल नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में एक बहुत बड़ी परंपरा है, संतों की परंपरा है। इस परंपरा का निर्वाह करने वाले अलग अलग पंथों के जो हमारे सारे साधु संत हैं, उनका भी आशीर्वाद हमको मिला, जिन्होंने बिल्कुल गांव-गांव तक जाकर अलख जगाया और एक रहने का संदेश दिया, जिसके कारण मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि एक बहुत अच्छा विजय हमको मिला है। विशेष रूप से हमारे मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी, उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित दादा पवार जी, रामदास अठौले जी और हमारे साथ की जितनी छोटी पार्टियां हैं, हम सब लोग एक साथ रहे, एक साथ मिलकर हमने ये काम किया। इसलिए मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ कि इस एकता का ये विजय है, जो हमारी महायुति थी, अभेद्य इस प्रकार की महायुति थी, महायुति का ये विजय।
Well, live pictures coming through.